Hello.
Oh. Out of here. Hello.
I know
we can't hear ourselves.
We can't?
Yep. I mean, I can't.
Oh, yeah, I can't either. Anyways, hello, everyone. Welcome to our kind of homesteading.
We're your hosts, Cheri.
And Shauna.
That's the first time we've ever done that.
Yeah. Well, because I was fiddling around with some of our, episodes.
Yeah.
And, I was going through them, and it was, every time it's hello, everyone, hello, everyone, hello, everyone, hello, everyone. It was, the same tone and everything. And I was like, maybe we should switch that up. But, yeah, I didn't like how it felt, so we should go back. We should stay consistent with what we had.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to wear these. I can hear myself, so it's weird. Just, have headphones
Same.
on for no reason.
I know. I was like, we need to get a new thingy. Anywho.
Yeah, we do.
So, Cheri has some fun news.
We got horses.
Yay.
My mascara is getting into my eyes. My girls are over the moon, of course. It's been a long time coming. My 15-year-old has, they both wanted them forever, but they've both been, especially my 15-year-old, she's been really working towards it. Sure.
Working towards it?
Yeah, just proving that she's super, super responsible and, she does everything. She does. She just goes out. There's no, go feed the animals. You know what I mean?
Self-motivated.
Totally self-starter. And so, anyways, long time coming for her. And so, yeah, I got two. They're drum horses, which is a mixture of, the three foundation, draft breeds. It's, Clydesdale-Shire Gypsy. And they can't have, to be, a registered drum, they can't have less than 16% of any of that.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the, I don't even know, characteristic, whatever the heck. But very big, very, very big horses. And they're usually, again, a drum horse is, I guess, the characterization for it is, they have to be over 16.2 hands. And they're usually, they have the feathers on their feet and big long manes and tails, so he's gorgeous. Boa, I'll post him. So we're picking up the one. We have the one. We're picking up the other one next week, or having him delivered or whatever. And his name. I mean, I told you his registered name, the one that we haven't picked up yet, right?
Yeah.
And Dea doesn't like any of the names, right? And so she's like, I'm gonna name him Angus. And I was like, Angus. It's such a weird name. She's like, from Brave, Mom. And I'm like, oh, I totally should have guessed that. My Disney girl, totally should have guessed that. She's super obsessed with Disney, but she's not I don't know. I feel like I say that and people are like, oh, I don't know. Must be a dorky kid or something. Don't you think that?
No.
For that age kid, a girl.
No.
Yeah, I would think that.
No, Disney's trendy right now. All the lounge flies and clothes and stuff like that. It's trending. TikTok, everything. No.
Hasn't been trending for a long time.
When we were young, if we were I'm wearing my Tinkerbell shirt today, people would be like, okay, but that's, it's
See,
it's just
how
different.
weird is that? It's
different
it's just
now.
totally different. I guess
So
it is.
It's just when things are trending, it's trending, Cheri.
I guess.
Dea's
Dea's obsessed though, and she has been for a little bit.
See, I'm not I love Disneyland, but I'm not uber into Disney.
Yeah, Dea's obsessed.
I don't
Her entire room.
I don't want to sit and watch a bunch of Disney movies.
She does, and she does.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not. It's not my thing. When we had to go see Little Mermaid, the live action for her birthday,
Yeah, we went to see the live action Little Mermaid. I got out of it because my 6-month-old was like, "Meh," and I was like, okay, that's my cue to leave. It was very nice. I just hung out in the hallway with her.
I should have come out in the hallway. I sat next to our brother Spencer, which obviously it's not his type of movie either, so we just kind of made fun of it the whole time. But a lot of it was, it was cute. It was a good movie. Whatever.
Yeah,
everybody liked it. Everybody else.
No, Dea was
liked it.
Oh my god, best movie ever.
And River's wasn't that such a good movie? Yeah. And I was like, it totally was. Yeah, I was just I totally paid attention to almost the whole thing. I did not zone out.
Almost the whole thing.
I wasn't looking at my phone.
Wasn't making fun of it at all.
But anyways, so it's super exciting. So, obviously, large animals need a little bit more room. And depending on your zoning and stuff, there's certain animals you can't get depending on, where you live. So, but also they need quite a bit more space. And yes, like you've seen horses in like barn stalls and stuff like that, but usually those type of horses, they're being worked in an arena like on a daily basis. And so if you don't have the space for them, and even like they're going to be any large animals, your cows and horses, they're super hard on the earth, the ground.
Like they'll take like what is like, there's like weeds and whatever, right? And it'll be like dirt like mud in a matter of several days after they've been in there. They just rip it up dry. Really quick. It just is very, very dry dirt. When it's muddy or when it's rainy, then you're gonna have just like straight freaking mud. So
unless they have a larger pasture, right. And then they might like tear up where they are a lot of the time to like eat and stuff like that. But then they'll have like a larger area, and the whole thing won't be just a dirt.
Right, just a lot basically.
Yeah. So the other thing you can do too, or what you should do if you have the space. If you have the space, and maybe you have a couple pastures that are split up, and you can rotate the larger animals from different pastures, and then you can try, like reseeding, growing new things,
right? And just letting the ground kind of come back, because they also the natural grasses,
because they also graze, right? Exactly. Not just like they graze, and the larger animals are your normal grazers, not like your goats, which are your browsers, but they take down the grasses and stuff really, really low, and sometimes to where they're non-existent. They'll just pull them right up.
Yeah, so, they do, and whereas your goats don't do that, and the goats just won't even be that hard on the ground, not just because they're a lighter animal, but because the goats don't have the top front teeth, so they actually can't like get down and like snip that grass like right out of the ground. Yeah. Whereas your cows and your horses 100% do that. So like our plan, so we have it's a pretty nice size pasture attached to our horse barn. So that's where they will be. But then I will be rotating them up here, because this pen up top now goes all the way over to our neighbors. Because we basically, it was initially 3 pens, and we've since then, like we've had it that way for a very long time. We've taken down the 2 cross fences in between, and so now it's just one huge long pasture area, and I have a bunch of goats in there right now. Unfortunately, we had 2 trees come down in there, so that's why the horses can't be in there quite yet. Not that the barn isn't sufficient, it is. The only thing I don't like about our back pasture attached to the barn is all those damn rocks.
Yeah. It's
like, and I'm like, I have like PTSD from those 3 birds dying that we had.
Yeah.
Like major PTSD. I'm so anxious with this horse about like literally everything he does. I'm trying to like bring good energy to the universe, but like, I'm like, okay, no, he can stay in the barn paddock that locked off this. He cannot go down there.
What are you worried about?
Well, because he's only a yearling, so he's like a big dumb. He's like, blah, blah, I'm an idiot.
Still orally fixated.
Very orally fixated. He's just like earlier, we're walking and then he just like, meh, like totally just trips on his own fucking front of his foot. What are you doing? And I'm going to put him in a pasture with giant jutting rocks sticking out of the ground? I'm like, I don't think so. I'm going to wait. So that's why I was trying to get these trees up, like, as quickly as we can, but they're just massive, and then the fucking chainsaw broke yesterday.
You could put him down there. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out.
I'm going to go walk it and just see.
And, make sure the grass is cut so he can see the big rocks. You know what I'm saying?
It's all down. The goats have it all down.
Okay, well, he'll be fucking fine. You could always, I don't know, put some big orange cones, but he'll probably just pick those up and play with them.
He definitely would. He has his jolly ball. He loves his jolly ball.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, again, very orally fixated. He's like, everything is going in my mouth. Like, typical fucking baby.
I thought you were, saying you were, worried about, mushrooms or whatever. I was like, it's not mushroom season. You're fine.
I'm worried about the big. There's quite a few rock outcroppings, big rocks. I'm not talking a little rock on the ground.
I know, but the big rocks you shouldn't worry about. It is the smaller ones that you can't see.
I'm probably just overthinking.
You really are.
I'm being overly worried.
You really are. Again, put him down there and let him have fun.
I know. I need to. He's just been. I mean, we take him out 5 times a day.
Just put him down there.
Fine. I might. I'm gonna walk it first. Okay. I have to go see it again.
You're gonna walk it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk it.
Okay, you walk it.
I'm going to. I'm gonna walk around. My girls are gonna be like, "See, Mom, it's fine." I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
No, it is fine. You're being weird. You're being weird.
I just don't want anything to happen to him.
well, like, unfortunately we can't control the universe. Like, shit's gonna
for
happen.
Sure,
so,
but
like
as much as I can control.
No, I know, but like big rocks, like I said, he's not gonna be all like, "Yay, I'm gonna jump into these." It's not a pool, like he's fine. It's not like a large body of water where he's gonna stumble and drown himself. He's fine.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the eventual idea is to rotate them between these two pastures. Because once we do the second one, then that's going to really take it all to the ground. And so rotating them, again, it's going to help the earth kind of heal, for lack of a better word, bring back that grass and stuff, and not just be... Because remember when we had our horses up here when we were young.
I remember.
And it was a dirt lot. And it was just like...
But it was a lot smaller.
It was smaller. They couldn't go all the way to the neighbor's fence line. And there was 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they take it down to the ground very, very quickly. But... Yeah, so that's the point. That's the plan. Rotation, and rotating the goats back and forth. They're gonna have to live with the Nigerian buck, which I'm sure they'll love.
I'm sure the Nigerian buck will love it too.
He's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Who's in my pasture with me?"
Yeah. Eventually, when we get horses, they'll be in our lower pasture, but they'll have to be with our 2 big fat Nubians. And I'm like, should I just wait? Because like our Nubians, our big fat Nubians, they're pretty old.
No, they'll be totally fine. They will respect the horse. It's going to be way bigger than them. Goats are like smarter than horses when it comes to like size.
Goats are just smarter than horses. You could just stop there.
Well, especially when it comes to size, though.
But
like a horse
like
know
goats,
its own size.
Like people
know their own size.
People like give like goats crap because they're like, you're such an idiot because you're always getting into something. But it's their curiosity. They're smart,
right. Curiosity.
But like the horses, on the other hand, they're just big dumb idiots. And they just like they're almost like they are more akin to like a like a crawling baby.
Yes, very much.
Where they,
very much.
Are grabbing things and putting quarters in their mouth because they're like, oh, this should be fun to choke on.
In the pasture, he finds an Easter egg. I don't even know where he found it. It wasn't. I mean, the grass is so low. There's no grass. It's just weeds, and Juan mowed it all, so it's like down to the ground. Where did you find that? It's bright pink. I don't know how he didn't
say Happy Easter to me.
He's like, I'm like, nope. And I'm like, pry out of his friggin' mouth, his little itty bitty baby teeth. I'm just like, give me that.
See, goats will do that too, though.
Goats will do that too,
but I feel like they don't go as far as to actually swallowing the things. They like.
I don't know. Do you remember Oki got into? There was a bucket. We had a bucket of like. It was like
he
fucking
was a goat?
tar. It was like tar.
I don't remember that.
Back here, and he totally got into it, and he was like eating it. I was like,
you're ruining the whole like goats are smarter than horses thing, Oki. So maybe don't be dumb.
No, and he was so smart. Remember, he used to open up.
Yeah,
he used to open up the pen.
Yeah, he used to literally. It was like a latch pen. It was just like a slide latch into the. And this was years. We were young.
I mean, our very first goats we ever got. We got 2 goats.
Yeah,
and that was our very first animals beyond like the chickens and ducks.
Yeah, and but he would, so we didn't understand that the goats were really intelligent, and he would like put his head around and he'd slide the lock out and then push the gate open like, hello,
like,
here I am.
Come on, everyone.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
like
out.
We're all going out. So yeah,
so cute. My God, they're so smart.
Yeah, they really are. So
yeah, but your big goats would totally leave them alone. That was my point. Like, because they do know their size. They'd be like looking at them like,
they're kind of devils. They're devils. They don't like things
trying to think where
in their pasture. Like the other day, because like the goat barn, we also have some chickens that live in there, and they, I had a bunch of broody hens that hatched a bunch of eggs that I couldn't get to. I could have, but I just didn't want to. And it was just like in an awkward spot.
Like, disclaimer, I could have.
It was in an awkward spot, and it would just like have been really annoying to get to them, and like all black widows, and I was just like, you can have babies.
Fun hatching babies. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so they had babies, and but the mom keeps taking him like into where the goats like sleep and stuff, and she, for whatever reason, instead of going back to another spot, any other spot really, that's on like the left side of the barn where the goats can't get to, she literally like will bed down right next to the big fat goats, and I just don't.
Well,
and
obviously they're allowing her.
Well, they allow her, but the babies will like try to climb underneath the goats to get warm because they're dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are gonna be like, she's not gonna care if she smushes you.
No,
She's zero fucks.
She would not care.
Like, she doesn't care. She will kill you and not have any remorse about it. Like, she won't even notice.
Well, a horse is much bigger than a baby chick. I'm telling you. Like, you could, like I would pen up your goats, lock them up in that area, that's really tiny area in the barn.
Yeah.
Put the horses in there. Let the horses be in there for like 2 hours or something. Let your goats out, and they're going to be like, what the hell? Who are you? Who invited you? And your horse is going to be like, I'm bigger than you. Go away.
No, I know that they would be fine, but
yeah, they'll be fine.
I was just like, I always feel like guilty adding in any kind of, like, they're older. They're like, 10.
Oh, they're fine.
And they probably only have a couple years left. And I was like, I don't want to, like, disrupt them too much, because I was like, maybe I'll just, like, leave them in that upper pasture. They don't need the whole down pasture where I'd put the horses. And I was like, I don't want to take that away from them. They're all, like, 10 years old. And then I also have bees in our lower pasture. And I was like, the horses will totally just, like, and it's fenced off, but I'm just like, I can just see the horses getting stung a billion times. Horses, like, are idiots. They, like, try to kill themselves. Like I said, they're like that crawling baby. They're trying to make you crazy. Like,
that's like that's Hero right now.
Exactly.
She pulled
that's the
down
actual human child.
Her brother's smoothie off of the side table yesterday. Smoothie is everywhere. No one notices for like a couple, like it was like maybe maybe a whole minute. Okay, so maybe 60 seconds of not realizing there's a smoothie on the ground, and she's like, "This is fun." And then somehow fishy crackers were nearby. And there's fishy crackers mixed in with the smoothie, so it legit looked like exactly like fucking throw up.
Ew.
And it's not, and it smells like all fruity, and it's like a fucking smoothie, but still, like all the kids are like, "Oh my god, what is that?"
And she's all playing in it.
She's like playing, looking.
She's like, "What?"
This
she's
is
like,
I did this.
She's like, "I made this." Yeah, artwork. This is art.
And then I'm trying to, I push her over a little bit, and she had just covered in smoothie and fishy crackers, and I'm trying to grab a towel, put a towel over it, and in that moment, she decides to pee. So now there's pee that I have to pick up because she's not wearing a diaper.
Okay,
so there's pee that I have to pick up. Smoothie, fishy crackers. I pick her up, put her into the bath, tell Dea to come here. Dea watches her in the bathtub. I just fill it like this much, and she just plays, and she gets clean. And then I went and cleaned the floor up, and then she's done with her bath, and because she only wants to be in there for like maybe 5 minutes. Done with her bath, she comes out, and then she found the Legend had put another drink on the fucking where the fireplace is.
Did you tell him no more?
I was like, babe, drinks from now on the counter. She can't reach it, okay? On the counter. And he's like, but Mom, I don't want to have to get up. Yes, that's terrible. You have to get up. Very sorry, but that is our lives, okay? So, on the counter only. It's like,
terrible that you have to get up.
Just ridiculous.
She's such a monster. Bad for you.
That's all I do all day long is I just like clean up after her, and
yeah,
that's all I do. I just follow. And then everything else. Just oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been super fun.
Yeah.
And she's very, very mobile now. Like she can get anywhere she wants to get.
Yeah.
And she stands up on everything.
Yeah. Did you re-baby proof your house so you won't like electrocute herself?
Yeah, we have the thingies and all the electrical outlets that she can reach. Pretty much all of my electrical outlets in the living room are like covered by like furniture. So not that that's convenient to have something plugged in. Convenient though for a baby.
That's true.
So anyways, it's been hell.
I was like making a toast or something dumb the other day, and then
did you electrocute yourself?
No.
Oh, that's where this is going. I was
what
is wrong with you?
I'm 40, but you know how the toast will get stuck at the bottom because your toaster inevitably hates you.
Yeah.
And so I unplug it, and I'm grabbing like something to get it out with. Like it's usually a fork or something to get it out with, but I don't want to electrocute myself, like Cheri said, so I unplug it first. But I'm thinking, and I was like, have I ever told my kids this? Is this just knowledge that they have? Like, do they know that?
Yeah. Do they know that you cannot
stick something? Like, if the toast got stuck and they went to grab like a butter knife or something to get their toast out.
I've told my kids. My kids all know.
And so I went around the corner, and they're like in the living room, and I was like, do you guys know not to stick like metal in the toaster? And they both looked at me like I'm the idiot. And they're like, yes, Mom, we know that it will electrocute us. And I was like, I never had the conversation. I don't know, like, is that
I don't know how much you're learning on YouTube, okay? I don't know. Like, I'm just making sure I'm doing my part as your mom.
I was like, have we talked about it? And they're like, no, we know. It's like, obviously, it's
common knowledge.
Yeah, it's plugged in. Like, and I was like, is it obvious? I was like, because I've ruined several microwaves when I was younger by putting metal in it. So,
well, you know why it's obvious to them? Because they watch so many like funny videos about like people doing dumbass fucking shit like that. And they're like, mental note. Alrighty, do not put that in.
I guess, because
I swear that's why our kids are smarter than us.
They're absolutely smarter, and I always tell my kids that. I'm like,
I always tell my kids
I was like, I was not this smart at your age, and even when they were younger, and how they would articulate things and their vocabulary, and I always thought I had a pretty good vocabulary, but then my kids came along, and I was like, okay, I'm dumb. But like,
seriously,
you know, it's pretty amazing, but it is because of like just them.
It's
they're always just gaining knowledge all the time.
All the time, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah. So yeah, they looked at me, and I was just like, okay, I'm trying to help you from being an idiot. Don't look at me like I'm an idiot. I'm like, I don't know, you know, like we never talked about it.
I don't know, you know, I don't know you. Okay.
It was just like one of those random things. And I was just like, huh. Because I was like, I could see, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Being
like when you're older.
Have I talked to them about that?
Yeah.
Like, did we have a conversation?
Yeah, like we talk a lot. I talk a lot to my kids about a lot of things, about a lot of safety things. I'm always like, you know, like if somebody comes up to you and starts talking to you.
I was gonna say, I think the most I talked about is like
stranger danger,
or
shit,
like, and then like,
or like not trusting people. Like that's like a big one.
And then it morphs into like safe sex.
Yeah.
It goes from like stranger danger to like safe sex.
Yeah,
and then you know
and like you know things that I'm like, this is what I'm worried about when you go out into the world.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly. But anyways,
did you see? Speaking of crazy, Lorenzo just showed me a fucking crazy ass video. It's happened. I don't know. It was like Alabama or something. Fucking this guy pulls up to a Starbucks, and when the barista reaches out with his drink or his change or something, he had like some little fangled thingy, a zip tie like noose kind of thing, and he literally tried to like put it over her arm, and luckily she like moved and he grabbed her arm, but then she like just like fought back and like fell.
You're just gonna pull her out the window?
Well, if he had got the zip tie around her wrist, yes, that was his intent, was to rip her through the window into his vehicle.
What the fuck?
And he most likely would have been able to do that if a zip tie was around your wrist.
That would hurt though.
Well, I don't think he cares, Shauna. He's trying to rip her through a drive-through window. I don't think he's worried about hurting her. Pretty sure that's what he wants to do, actually. Terrible. And I was like, do you see, Lorenzo, what I have to worry about as a mother? I have my 3 daughters being ripped through drive-through windows. Great. Just add it to the fucking list.
I know.
God damn, I'm so mad.
I know. Like, no.
Like your boys, they're boys, right? And my boys are they're taller than me. They're big. They're big people. They're adults.
Like you still like, but I still like worry about my boys. Of
course,
them.
I worry about them in the car, especially.
No, but I still like worry about them like getting into a situation because they are like, you know, too trusting or whatever. I still like.
No, Shauna, you're preaching the choir. I worry about so many things, but something like dragging them through a drive-through window. Like I don't worry about my boys being kidnapped. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like person-napped. I don't want to use the word kidnap because I'm not a kid, but like on the tiniest kids table. Thank you. But like I was like watching this video, like that's fucking unreal. Great. Something else gave me nightmares at night. And I was like,
did you immediately tell your girls? You're like, you're not allowed to work at a drive-through.
Like, look at this video. Watch it. Don't touch anybody. Don't let them touch you at all. Be like, put their change in one of those little, I don't know what, something. Tell your manager, my mom says I can't touch anybody. I'm going to need something to put something in, give their change to them.
Yeah, like during COVID, you know how they used to hand like a
tray?
It was like a tray and it always like was on like a big popsicle stick or something,
do that.
You have to do that.
You have to do that.
Always,
you must do that.
COVID, always.
I'll make it. You can bring it out. I'm going to make it. I'll make the entire store. Whoever's working the drive-through window, they may have one. I will make them all one. Okay,
like put it on here.
Ridiculous though.
I'm not gonna
like, oh my
put
God,
my arm out the window.
People.
I know.
Fucking, they caught him.
Good.
So hopefully, but see, the thing is, what are they going to do with him? What, he's going to go sit in jail for a few days? Shoot him.
Okay.
Shoot him.
Okay.
No, not okay. It's ridiculous. There's no like rehabilitating that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah, I do. I do know.
Onto an island.
Onto an island. Like, what's her name?
Yeah, like her. They did it then. Do it now.
Do it now.
What's stopping
you? She didn't even do anything bad. She did.
She did.
Yeah.
They don't even know what we're talking about. You know.
Typhoid Mary.
Yep, that's right. Typhoid Mary.
She did knowingly work at a maternity ward and get several people sick.
As a cook, and she knowingly had, like, she knew that she was carrying typhoid fever, and because they had told her that she was, and they're like, okay, we're not gonna, you're okay, but like, don't work anywhere where you're a cook. And she was like, okay. And then she went and worked in a maternity ward and killed through giving them this illness, she killed, mothers, unborn
and
babies,
it was,
babies.
back in the time where
very,
they
very
didn't
sad.
know to like wash their hands
of
before
course,
they
course,
touched food and stuff, which
right,
like
it's disgusting. But I mean, knowledge, right?
Right. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So anyways, but they put her on an island.
She
died there,
and she literally for years, and she died there, on her own, she was on an island. They just were like, well, you're not listening, Typhoid Mary. We're putting you on an island.
And that's what you'll be remembered as. It sucks. It sucks. But yeah, I guess don't be. But it's hard though, because when you think about it, back then, this has nothing to do with.
What was she supposed to do?
Because that was her
skill set.
That was her skill set. She didn't have an education. She was already lower class. She didn't have a rich husband, so she was like, I either go find work as a cook or I starve. You know, she didn't really have a huge choice. So it's very, very sad all the way around. But anywho, back to large animals on your homestead.
That's right. A little bit of history there for you, rando.
I love random history facts.
I know,
History's fun. I want to do reenactments.
What?
You know how they do Civil War reenactments?
That sounds awful.
I think it sounds fun.
It does not sound fun. It sounds terrible.
It sounds kind of fun.
How would you reenact it?
What do you mean? They have they hold where people are soldiers and there's nurses and things like that.
That sounds awful. Why?
I don't know. It's history. It's
just read about it, learn it, talk about it.
It's fun to just a movie or anything else or a play.
I know, but no one is really that talented, right? So it'd be just awful. That's what I mean.
What do you mean?
I don't. I'm sorry, but unless I'm watching little kids in a play, I have no desire to watch a play.
Oh, I like plays.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I just I like stories, but I'd rather read is what I would like to do. I don't want to watch people act something out, especially something I already know what's going on, especially history.
You're
what? Oh yeah, shocker! The ship sank. You're it's just
Well, I mean, you went and watched Titanic. You knew it was going to happen.
Only because Leonardo DiCaprio was in it.
Yeah.
That's what we were all there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And fucking Rose wouldn't even share a fucking door with them.
That's right.
She's there's not room for you, Jack. You have to.
There's no room, Jack.
Freeze to death.
Wow, Rose.
You can't even take turns, Rose?
Showing your true colors. Showing your true colors. Here we thought you were so nice.
Yeah, she's like, how can I get rid of this guy?
Slept with him. Okay, done. And on to bigger and better things now. Bye, Jack.
Yeah, you're poor. So.
No money. Bye, baby.
I'll watch you float to the bottom of the ocean.
That's exactly what it was, by the way.
That's exactly. I mean, they're fictional characters, but
I'm just saying.
She's like, I'm tired of you already.
Oh, and she. Well, I guess in the movie though they showed her not going to her husband or whatever, betrothed or whatever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
But he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Rich asshole, but still an asshole.
Yeah. Anywho, so we've talked a lot about things besides large animals on your homestead.
I just think, rotating the pastures.
There is more to it than, I think you can kind of rush into getting certain animals. And we've talked about not rushing in and making sure you have.
You could rush into, chickens, for example. Most likely. But even then, still need a fucking coop. It's going to suck when they get too big for their brood, or you're like, oh, fuck, where am I putting them now, right?
Yeah.
So,
in your house.
Anything, yeah, they're going to be living with you in your home.
Or getting eaten by wild animals.
With anything, it's there's
forethought.
There's definitely forethought that needs to go into it.
But I think large animals take a little bit more because they do require a lot more space. They require, horses in particular can be very finicky. If they can't, if you're getting a horse changing their feed or whatever, you need to make sure you account for everything. Horses colic very easily. I think horses would probably be your last thing that you would want to get. Unless you already grew up with horses or you know them, obviously, right?
Well, but then you're obviously not listening to us.
They could be listening.
Well, they're not listening to this episode.
Maybe they want to know about Typhoid Mary. I'm gonna name this episode
unless you
large animals and Typhoid Mary. People are gonna be like, what? Yeah, that's what we talked about. Don't know how we got there, but we did. Something about Starbucks baristas being pulled out the window.
And then Typhoid Mary. I really don't know how we do this. It is really weird, though. It is very funny. It always totally amuses me.
I know.
It is very, very funny.
Anyways, so yeah, it does take a little bit more forethought. Horses definitely shouldn't be one of your first animals, second animals, or third animals.
Well, and with horses too, and I don't know why this is the way with horses. I guess because their initial purchase price is so high. Maybe that's why. But the horse world is like, especially like on Facebook and stuff, so full of scammers. And different tiers of scammers.
That's a really good point.
That will straight up scam you right out of money initially before you even see the horse. By the way, never give anybody money until you actually have videos and with them in it and whatever the fuck that you know some reliable person. Like, do not send people money. Another scammer thing, like you go to see a horse, the horse looks great, you get the horse home. Oh shit, the horse was drugged. And now they're a psychopath.
Yeah. That actually happens more than you think because they want the horse to be calm when people are there. So if you are like, we really want to get horses, our kids want to ride, like blah, blah, blah. Maybe your kids do ride, but you don't really know a lot about horses.
Yes.
I would absolutely take somebody with you that does know about horses, right? To look at said horse because then they can have those like, oh, this horse is obviously drugged. You know, there's just so much when buying a horse that goes into it. So take your time, I guess.
Just take your time with initially buying them and really do the due diligence, the research that needs to go into it. Make sure you're communicating with people that are very well known and that have great other people talk about them very highly. They're very highly recommended. 100% make sure you get a PPE on that horse, which is a vet going out, looking that horse over, running them through flexion testing, running them through lunging, making sure they're sound.
'Cause you don't want a lame horse.
You don't want a lame horse, and you don't want to also get a horse that has any kind of other issues, gastrointestinal issues, because they'll listen for all of that.
Cushing's disease is very common in horses.
And there's a lot that goes into it. So if you are like on the fence about getting horses, definitely talk with either someone that you know really well that could help you out, or just do a fuck ton of research.
I would absolutely suggest finding somebody that not just like, oh, they grew up with horses or they had them when they were younger, like, but also is like in that world and deals with horses on a daily basis. Because when you deal with something just like Cheri could go with anybody to look at a goat and be all like, oh, that's let's say for like 4-H. Yeah. That goat looks really nice. They have nice conformation, everything else. Somebody that like just goes and looks at a goat compared to another goat, they're like, it looks like a goat, right? To you, it doesn't, it's not, there's no difference. But because we kind of grew up in that show world 4-H, like showing goats and making sure like that's what we were looking for, right? We can look at a goat and be like, that's a nice looking goat because of these reasons. But everybody else just sees a goat. Right. So like people are,
very good point.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to like, that's like the only analogy I can come up with. Like,
no, it's a good point. And that would be like specifically if they were looking for a goat for show. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you can have goats for all sorts of reasons. They don't necessarily have to have great conformation, but good conformation also does
mean a healthier
animal because they were bred well.
And you also know to ask, you know, like, oh, are they herd CAE, you know,
CAE negative.
You
know what I mean?
Like, are they, you know, are they updated on their shots, worming, all that stuff. So, you know, like the questions like you should ask opposed to somebody that's never, you know, had goats, or maybe they had them when they were younger, but they just like randomly, you know, they were young and they don't really remember it. You know, it's just like, it's really good to have that person that has that little expertise, I guess is what we're stressing for when you're going to buy any animal, right? Beyond like, even like freaking chickens, I would suggest getting them from like either a reputable breeder or even like your feed stores and stuff like that.
Because honestly, even chickens, I mean, you can get chickens they're carrying something.
You bring it back to your flock.
And not that they couldn't be carrying something from your local feed store, but they're very, like, a lot less likely.
Yeah.
Like, your chances of bringing home a healthy bird from a feed store, very high, versus your chances of just getting healthy chickens from someone random. I mean, again, though, you know, talk around. You can ask other people, though. Oh, hey, I see you got chickens from her. What do you think? What was your experience? You know what I mean? So
the internet's an amazing place now.
It really is, and utilize it to your.
You can find a lot of information out in a short amount of time. But obviously with any animal, there's a lot of research that goes into it or should go into it before you just jump and get an animal. More so with your larger animals because there's more money involved, like Cheri was saying.
Exactly.
There are more scammers because they're going to definitely change your property. So you have to think about that. Is that going to affect, if they are on a slope, right? You put them in a pasture with a slope and they don't have a really big area, and the horses or cows keep grinding away at that dirt and starts causing an erosion, which could cause a mudslide.
Yep.
You have to think about so many factors. It's not just, oh, well, we have this open space, we'll put him here. Which, yeah, I guess once you start thinking about it, is a lot.
Yeah, like our neighbors. That's exactly what happened with across the street from us. Their horses are on a slope, and they turned it. It had never had horses on it before, and we've lived here for over 25 years now. And they came in with 3 horses, cut down a bunch of trees. They left quite a bit of trees, but it was very, very thick with trees before that. And because they were the loss of the trees, plus I think how the horses just run that ground down to the dirt.
And it's more of an incline.
It's already on an incline. And so all of a sudden we had this massive fucking trench on our fucking road, going out. You pull out of our gate and then that's the road, and massive trench. If you didn't see that at night,
that's what that was from.
Your underneath of your car is being fucked up. If you
I was
drive
why is that? I just thought it was all the rain. I wasn't even thinking that.
It's from that.
But yeah,
it was from that. Because we've never had. There's always water that will go right across that roadway, the entrance to the road. It'll always, right? But it never, ever, ever has been that bad. This was the very first year, and it's definitely not a coincidence because there was just more runoff. You no longer have the little grasses catching the water, making it just go into the ground, right? The water just poured down that hill.
Well, and also the trees, their root system holds basically the ground in place, for lack of a better
100%.
whatever. Yeah. And so by taking down a lot of those trees, even though they still left a lot, they took down a lot of that, in that space, and so it just that the ground will erode a lot quicker.
Yep.
So there is a lot more with large animals because of their size, because of what they do, not just to your land, but overall more money goes into it, more feed and everything else. So it's just you do have to provide them with all kinds of things, with the alfalfa or whatever else they need. They're usually on some type of extra supplement or something, in the summer they can't just eat dead grass. So unless you are watering an area to keep it green so they can continue to graze, it's just not going to be sustainable.
Yeah, you either spend money irrigating a pasture to keep it green, and you would have to be rotating pastures, or it has to be a really fucking big pasture depending on how many horses are on it, or you spend money on hay. And then if your horse is in a very tiny lot with just dirt and then sand, especially if they're on sand, they would need a psyllium load. And that's basically
which most animals do, though. At least where we're at, they need the selenium.
Psyllium.
Oh, psyllium.
Psyllium. And so it basically, all it does is it ensures that food keeps running through. It's basically almost like a
like a grit.
Like a grit, but and to make them I'm blanking on the word. It's a very easy word. It's a laxative effect. And it makes it so that the sand does not become impacted in their intestine, and then they colic.
Yeah. Horses colic I had a horse die actually from colic.
Yeah.
They can colic very easily. So
yeah, so all sorts of things to research, and again, just
with cattle, I think it's a little bit. I don't think cows are as finicky as horses. We had cows at one point. They still are very curious. They still are very smart, and they like to get into shit. They still need a larger space.
Yeah, they're still a very, very big animal.
They're still a big animal. They're still going to do everything like that, but they're not as what's the word? Fragile.
I don't know if horses are too fragile. They're basically
I think there's just a lot of more upkeep. If you're gonna be riding them, you need to get their feet done. If they're older, getting their teeth floated. There's just a lot more upkeep. Sure. They need
obviously,
a lot more.
If you're riding an animal and you're using them like that, then obviously maintenance is going to be required.
Right.
The goats, obviously, we milk our goats. You know what I mean? Like that's literally all, you know,
Trim
we just
their
feed
hooves.
them. Exactly. And then like they just are like, and I'm great out here.
Now I'm a goat.
Exactly. So,
So yeah. So lots to think about if you
Definitely.
are on that path to getting larger animals
Making
for
a
your
large
property.
animal.
If you guys have any questions about it, please let us know. We feel free to. Oh, we do have a Q&A coming up.
I know.
We've
almost
only
forgot
got
about
a
it.
couple questions in, so please get your questions in if you want to do that. Because right now we just wouldn't do it unless we get more questions in. I think we only have like 4. So
Okay.
we'd like to get to like at least like 10. So if you have any question either about homesteading, us, our family, homeschooling, random stuff at all, Cheri has to go get the baby, then please email us at ourkindofhomesteading@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us through our Instagram account or our Facebook account. Other than that, the baby seems very upset. Not sure what happened. We will talk to you next time. Bye.